Hi, I'm Sailor Moon, and I am Tuxedo Mask. And today we're going to talk about, something that, okay, I don't think anyone here would understand it, but we're going to probably going to make one more film on it, and then that would be it. Now, we are frightened of the Federal Trade Commission or the FTC or whatever you want to call it. Okay, yeah. Both of those two words are French borrowed words except for trade. That's an English word. Now, how this all happened was that for a long time, YouTube was either tracking what kids were watching or what kids were beloving or what they were liking or whatever they were doing, either on a YouTube reckoning or not on a YouTube reckoning. Mostly a Google reckoning, because you got to have a Google reckoning to get into all that stuff. So, and some folks didn't think that was right. And under the law, it says that if you're anywhere between the age of 5 and 12, then no webstead can do that without having either a keeper or bearers all right on it. So this got told to the FTC. The FTC did an underseeking and told YouTube that they were being underseeked, and then told YouTube yes, they were guilty of this, and YouTube did have to deal a fee to them for not following the law. Now, why that mean, and when they had to settle, when they came to this deal, why did YouTube and the FTC say, okay, you fucked up, YouTube, so here's the deal. Now you gotta let us look at everyone on YouTube. I don't know why that was, or maybe YouTube said that, oh well, we got folks on YouTube who are business mates, and they're making income. And some of them have kids in them, and some of them don't. But you gotta look at everyone. I don't know exactly how that deal came across in that sense of it, but now it's really truly frightening. Now, for a long time, everyone had been telling you sagas and tales about, oh, they're just gonna come in and start looking at fairways and films, and they're going to start giving everyone fees and all that shit. Well, to my understanding, the team isn't going to look at anyone unless someone actually tells them to look at someone. And they probably would only look at someone if they knew they could win something. Now, first they would have to look at the fairway. Then they would have to, call the owner or runner, because, well, they think everyone owns them, but I don't know. It's YouTube and it's free, so you don't own the reckoning, as some folks would say. Let them know they were being underseeked. Then have another meeting after that to see if there was enough truth that they were doing something wrong. And then see how much they were making, to see how much they could have to deal and still be in business. Now, that would only work if someone was a YouTube business mate and was making income from Google or YouTube, then you could do that. But what if you got a small channel like this that doesn't have any income coming in? What do you do then? I don't know. Now, it's true that team right now might not want to look at anyone, but the next team that comes in after the 7 years might want to look at someone. So that is frightening. But here are some things, Sailor Moon, you're right. Here are some things we know that would have us in good standing. 1, we don't make no income from Google or YouTube. 2, all of our films that we have made going back to 2013 while to now are all been for grown-ups, all of them. This YouTube Fairway has been made for grown-ups. That was who we want to make our films for. And, we never did anything that would make anyone believe that we were doing anything except what we were doing. But it is frightening, you know. And apparently YouTube doesn't really want to doesn't give you the for everyone or the general audience those French borrowed words. So either it's for kids or not for kids. And we know that the folks that we made our films for are for grown-ups, and we know that the grown-ups are the ones who are watching our films. Now, a lot of folks would say, oh, well, saying you're frightened of them, doesn't that mean you got something to hide? Well, first off, saying you're frightened of someone doesn't actually mean that you're guilty of wrongdoing. If that was true, then everyone who ever said they were frightened of the IRS would be found guilty of some type of wrongdoing when it came to toll gathering or toll dealing or whatever, which is not true. You know? So, saying we're frightened of the FTC doesn't mean, oh, well, we're doing wrong or something, because we're not. You're right, Tuxedo Mask. Saying you're frightened of the FTC doesn't actually make you guilty of any wrongdoing. You know? It would have to be under-seeking, truth-seeking, and that would be the end of it. You know? Now, why this means that the YouTube fairway, because I guess in their mind they believe that if you're making films for folks, then you're running a Webstead, but you're not truly running a Webstead. You see, we on YouTube, if we're made it or not, don't actually run our YouTube fairways. They're not businesses. We don't own them. We don't run them. Yes, there are some out there who are made it and are making income from Google and YouTube. That is true. You know, but we don't own any of our, and we don't run any of these. You know, like it's our business or something, because we don't. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But we know that we make our films for grown-ups. We know our YouTube fairways for grown-ups. And that Sailor Moon is for everyone. Sailor Moon is, you know, for grown-ups too, you know. So, yeah, we know what we're doing. Yeah. So I know Sailor Moon, I don't really think we got nothing to be frightened of. But at the same time, we are definitely still frightened of the Federal Trade Commission and what they can do or what they will do if someone was guilty of any wrongdoing. Since we don't make any income from Google or YouTube, there means there would be no income that one could, you know, deal away as a handicap for one's wrongdoings. I guess they could tell YouTube, oh, you need to have these films taken down. Or they could tell YouTube, you need to shut that fairway down. Yeah, it is true. They could say that for a handicap. But or they could just give a warning. But at the end of the day, there's not really much they could do. And as far as folks saying, oh, they're going to come through and start watching everyone's films behind your back, and well, they don't have the man strength or the woman strength to do all that. They never did and never will. They basically only have the tools to look at one fairway and the films on that one fairway if that fairway is ever told to them to look at it. And then they gotta have a meeting about looking at that. Then they gotta call the owner or the runner and tell them they're being underseeked. Then they gotta do the underseeking. Then they're gonna have another meeting just to see if there was enough truth to any wrongdoing. And if there was any wrongdoing, have an underseeking on what kind of handicap that they could put on the owner or runner for not following the law, if it was deemed that they had to follow the law. And that's about it. But if they were seeked that they were not guilty of any wrongdoing, just let them go on, I guess. So it is what it is. I'm Sailor Moon. I'm Tuxedo Mask. We'll see you later.